How good is AI at sounding credible and believable? That's an interesting question for people like us that work within behavior analysis and analysis of statements, because if somebody committed a crime, for example, and wanted to use artificial intelligence to help them write a statement and sound more credible and believable, what might that look like? Does it do it naturally? I'm intrigued, so I thought I would try it. So, first of all, let's give it a little bit of a statement, see what it comes up with. So we'll start with, last night I was at a friend's house watching TV until around 10 p.m. Then I walked home, getting back around 10:35. So here we have where I was, where I went, a couple of times, and that's about all we've given it. And I want to know if ChatGPT can give us something that sounds a little bit more credible, a little more believable than just these few pieces of information. So let's see what it comes out with. Last night, I spent time at a friend's house, engaged in a leisurely evening of watching television until approximately 10 p.m. Following that, I proceeded to walk back to my residence, arriving at approximately 10:35 p.m. ChatGPT in this case is conflating credibility and believability with formality. Now, that's not always the case. Obviously, we can be credible, we can be believable, but sound informal. So I'm going to ask it to try again. Now we have, last night, I can confidently confirm that I was indeed at a friend's house, engrossed in a captivating television program until around 10 p.m. Subsequently, I embarked on a leisurely walk back to my own abode, arriving at approximately 10:35 p.m. Okay, it's even more formal now, and there's some convincing language in here. They're confidently confirming. Now, we do have some captivating television program and the fact that they were engrossed, and we have the word subsequently, and they're embarking on a leisurely walk back to their own abode in this case. So again, this level of formality being seen as more credible and believable. Let's ask it again, but ask it to be less formal. Last night, I was hanging out at a friend's place, watching TV until around 10 p.m. After that, I walked back home and got there at around 10:35 p.m. Now we've gone back to the original statement. So essentially, it's just the original statement with hanging out rather than being around. So it's just removed the formality and gone back to the original statement. So assuming we know that quality and quantity of details in a given statement will impact its credibility and believability, and very much is dependent on context and lots of other things. Let's tell ChatGPT that and see what it comes up with. Here we go. Let me provide you with a more detailed account of my whereabouts last night. Yesterday evening, I visited my good friend's house to catch up and have a great time. We decided to watch a thrilling television program that had us on the edge of our seats. The show was so captivating that we lost track of time, and before we knew it, it was already 10 p.m. After bidding farewell to my friend, I embarked on a pleasant stroll back to my own place. The weather was pleasant, with the gentle breeze and a clear sky adorned with twinkling stars. As I walked, I took the sights and sounds of the neighbourhood in, enjoying the peaceful ambience. Finally, at around 10:35 p.m., I arrived at my humble abode. It was a relaxing journey back, and I felt content and rejuvenated after spending time with my friend and enjoying the evening stroll. Okay, what we have here is something a little bit more poetic or prose. We've got some creative writing coming in here, far more descriptive, probably because we've told it to add more quality and quantity of details. So again, it's taken that and assumed we mean that we need to be more creative around here. So we even have twinkling stars and gentle breezes and clear skies. And now it's not just their abode or residence, it's their humble abode. So we still have this level of formality coming in here as well. Obviously, it's not giving their friend a name or anything like that. They're not introducing people because the friend doesn't exist. It's a made up statement. I guess we could tell it to give their friend a name, but that would taking things a little bit too far. But as we can see here, it does seem to be that ChatGPT is giving us credibility and believability in the form of formality and creative writing and being very artistic with the way it speaks. So it sounds scripted. It sounds like it's being created, and it has, obviously. So maybe if we tell it to sound more spontaneous and a little less scripted. Let's see what happens there. So, last night was pretty eventful. I went over to a friend's place to catch up and hang out. We ended up getting hooked on this crazy TV show that had us totally glued to the screen. Time just flew by, and before we knew it, it was already 10 p.m. After saying our goodbyes, I decided to take a leisurely walk back home. The weather was amazing, with gentle breeze and a sky full of sparkling stars. I just strolled along, soaking in the sights and sounds of the neighbourhood. It was so peaceful and relaxing. I finally got back to my place around 10:35 p.m. The whole journey back was so refreshing, and I felt so content and recharged after spending quality time with my friend and enjoying that lovely evening stroll. Now, I'll let you be the judge of how credible or believable that statement sounds. Now, from the point of view of assessing the credibility of a statement, obviously it's something that we do, and many people that watch this video, you probably do as well. And there'd be questions that would be asked here. Yes, quality and quantity of details are important. We have to take into account the context within which the statement is given or the narrative is being conveyed, and the person and the socio-cultural context within which that person is giving the account. So there's lots of things to consider, but it does seem that ChatGPT thinks sounding more formal and adding a bit more creative writing and making sure they add some artistic detail to an account is enough to make it sound credible and believable. But unfortunately, that is not the case.